Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you some high school boys ice hockey action between the visiting Quincy High School Presidents and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. As you can see, nobody quite on the ice warming up just yet. We are slated for a 6 p.m. start time. That might get pushed back a little bit. Not sure. As I said, we don't see teams coming out just yet. You can see coming in and out, some of the Brookline Warriors are fully suited up. But no one's out on the ice warming up just yet, so might be a little bit before we get this one underway. In the meantime, just the fact that we're here really is a cause for celebration, I think, personally. This will be Brookline High's first proper home game. Not just their first home game this season, their first home game in almost 2 years. Last year, they couldn't come to Walter Brown Arena because of COVID-19. The entire campus was shut down at BU, so they could not use this arena. And so they had to play what few games they could scrounge together in that weird 2020-2021 winter season. They had to play them all on the road. But now here they are, ready for a proper home opener. And what a day it's shaping up to be. They've got a special kind of super fan day going on. You can see up here on the left, they got concessions workers. They're giving out all kinds of snacks, raffle tickets, pucks that folks can chuck onto the ice. They're going to have a chuck-a-puck at some point today. So it's shaping up to be a really fun time for the fans here in attendance. But, for those of you watching from wherever you are, I think it's still going to be a fun time either way. This is shaping up to be a very good hockey game. We got two good teams coming in with Brookline and Quincy. Brookline enters this game with a 2-1 record. The lone loss came against this same Quincy team over at their rink back on December 11th. It was a 2-1 final in Quincy's favor, but since then, the Presidents haven't had as much success. Following that 2-1 victory, they hosted Silver Lake on December 15th and fell in overtime 5-4, then went out on the road to Duxbury on December 18th and finished with a 3-3 tie. So 1-1 is the record for Quincy, and as I said, Brookline 2-1, as since that Quincy loss, they've caught fire. They went out on the road at Weymouth on December 15th, came away with a 3-2 win, and then the Sticks exploded on December 18th in a road game against Wellesley, 5-3 the final score. So it'll be interesting to see what these two teams can bear out. It'll be particularly interesting to look at the defensive side of things. Brookline has allowed multiple goals in every game thus far, still looking for, not to say the defense has been playing bad. They might just be playing really good offenses, but they're still looking for that really, something that could be considered a real defensive shutdown. They haven't had something like that just yet. Meanwhile, Quincy had a strong defensive outing against Brookline 11 days ago, but since then, they've been allowing an average of 4 goals per game. Granted, one of those goals came in, extra time, in overtime, but their defense has kind of faltered since that win over Brookline, so it'll be interesting to see what both teams bring defensively. Looking at the offensive statistics for Brookline so far this season, like I said, they had that 2-1 loss at Quincy to open the season. Caleb Weldon scored the lone goal for Brookline, with assists coming from Jacob Gurdon and Campbell Hawkins. Then in the December 15th road win at Weymouth, the goals came one each from Henry Ames, Jacob Gurdon, and Emmett Tian, with 2 assists from Steve McDougall and 1 assist from James Redding. Then in that big offensive outburst at Wellesley 4 days ago, They had 2 goals and 2 assists from Emmett Tian, the player of the game. Caleb Weldon tacked on 2 goals of his own. James Redding scored the first goal of his varsity career. Marcus Pice added an assist, and Connor Erdman got his first varsity assist. So plenty to celebrate in that game back on Saturday, and they'll be hoping for more reasons to celebrate here. Still waiting for the warm-ups to come out. Once again, Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, happy to bring you live coverage of this upcoming high school boys hockey contest between Brookline and Quincy. And, while we're waiting, let's take a look at the rosters for the 2 teams that are going to be facing off here today. We'll start with the visiting Quincy High Presidents. Going in order of jersey number, first off, a junior goalie, number 1, Sean Halley. Next, a senior defenseman, number 2, Spencer Stebbins. Another senior defenseman, number 3, Thomas Christian. A freshman forward, number 4, Lincoln Hennessy. A senior forward, number 5, Jerry Caldwell. A senior forward and co-captain, number 6, Joseph Hennessy. A senior forward, number 7, Ronan Healy. A senior forward, number 8, Cooper Hernan. A senior defenseman and co-captain, number 11, Zach Galligan. A senior forward, number 12, Daniel Pacala. A junior forward, number 13, Liam Van Gestel. A senior defenseman, number 17, Daniel Andrews. A senior forward, number 18, Riley O'Connell. A senior defenseman, number 19, Tyler Larson. A junior forward, number 20, Andrew Novak. A senior defenseman, number 21, Sean Andrews. A senior forward, number 22, Pat Walsh. A senior forward, number 23, Chase Quigley. A senior defenseman, number 24, Lucas LaMonica. A senior forward and co-captain, number 28, Timmy Kelly. A junior forward, number 29, Colin Gates. A junior goalie, number 30, Tyler Holmes. A senior goalie, number 31, Daniel Freeman. A junior forward and co-captain, number 37, Cameron Quigley. And finally, a junior forward and co-captain, number 42, Will Martin. The head coach of the Quincy High boys hockey team is Ted Walsh Jr., with assistant coaches Mike McNeese, Mike McPherson, Ted Walsh III, Mitch Mortali, and William Ward. So that was the roster for the visiting Quincy High Presidents, who again come into this game with a 1-1-1 record. And we heard a buzzer, but that might have just been testing the buzzer. So, still no teams out for warm-ups just yet. In the meantime, let's read through the roster for the 2021-2022 Brookline High Warriors. First off, a junior defenseman, number 2, Luke Tebow. A junior forward, number 3, Marcus Pice. A sophomore defenseman, number 4, Noah Gurdon. As we see the Quincy High Presidents now coming out on the ice, we're getting closer to game time, so I'm going to finish reading off the roster for Brookline. Number 5, a junior forward and co-captain, Steve McDougall. A senior defenseman, number 6, Owen Erdman. A freshman forward, number 7, Connor Erdman. A senior forward and co-alternate captain, number 8, Ben Rosenthal. A senior forward, number 9, Caleb Weldon. A senior defenseman and co-captain, number 10, Jacob Gurdon. A senior defenseman and forward and co-alternate captain, number 11, Rohan Gervais. A sophomore forward, number 12, Henry Ames. As we can see, the Brookline Warriors now coming out on the ice as well for their warm-ups. Next on the roster, a senior forward, number 13, Campbell Hawkins. A senior forward, number 14, Andrew Janowski. A freshman forward, number 15, Max Guo. A junior defenseman, number 16, Jason O'Brien. A junior forward and co-captain, number 17, Emmett Tien. A freshman defenseman, number 18, Thomas O'Brien. Another freshman defenseman, number 19, Ryan Wilson. A freshman defenseman, number 23, Dylan Katz. A freshman forward, number 26, Grady Ames. A junior defenseman, number 27, James Redding. A senior goalie, number 33, Ty Denny. A senior goalie, number 31, Zach Snyder. And finally, a senior goalie, number 30, Brody Davidson. Head coach of the Brookline High boys hockey team is Michael Yanovich, with assistant coaches Joseph Iadarola, Kevin Morrissey, and Nick Sclafani. So that is the roster for the 2-1-0 Brookline High Warriors, who you can see warming up in the white jerseys with dark blue and red stripes, and the dark blue jersey numbers with red outlines. Over on my right, you can see the Quincy High Presidents warming up in their dark blue jerseys with white jersey numbers. Like I said, this should be a good one, a rematch of the December 11th contest in Quincy that the home team, the Presidents, took by a score of 2-1. Quincy has not won a game since then, and Brookline has done nothing but win since then. We'll see what these teams have to offer here on the ice tonight. As the pregame clock moving fast, got about 2.5 minutes left on the pregame clock already. Once again, Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, happy to bring you live coverage of this high school boys hockey contest. If you enjoy the broadcast, be sure to hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on all my upcoming broadcasts, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm currently booked to do these live streams for every home game for the Brookline Warriors this season. And if there's anything you want to say to me or to any of the other viewers, or if you want to give a shout out to your favorite players, I encourage you to participate in the live chat. You know, let me know, maybe I'm pronouncing a kid's name wrong. Maybe I've got some bad information, or maybe there's, you know, some extra fun facts you'd like to tell me about either the teams or the players. Or if you just want to shout out your favorite team or your favorite player. Or if you want to say anything to the other folks watching this live stream. Again, I highly encourage participation in the live chat. We got just over a minute left on the warm-up clock. Not a lot of time for warm-ups out here. And so we're almost ready to get this one underway. There's the buzzer for the pregame clock. So after a short round of warm-ups, the two teams lining up on respective ends of the ice. Again, Brookline in the white jerseys on my left, Quincy in the blue jerseys on my right. I don't know how well you guys can hear it, but the PA announcer is starting his pregame announcements. We're just starting with the starting lineup for Quincy. I think I heard numbers 10 and, no, I heard number 8. Well, I couldn't quite make out what the PA announcer was saying, so I don't know quite who the starters were. They didn't do that thing where the starters skate out one at a time. But now, here come the starters for the Warriors. First up, number 5, Steve McDougall. Next up is number 9, Caleb Weldon. Number 17, Emmett Tien. Number 10, Jacob Gurdon. And number 27, James Redding. And then they got Zach Snyder, number 31, starting it between the pipes today. And now we're going to have the playing of the national anthem, and then we'll have our opening puck drop. After the rendition of our national anthem, we are now ready to get this underway. Between the pipes for the two teams, as I said, Brookline is starting number 31, Zach Snyder. And for Quincy, the starter is also number 31. That is Daniel Freeman. Brookline sending out a starting forward line of Steve McDougall, Emmett Tien, and Caleb Walden, with a starting defensive pairing of Jacob Gurdon and James Redding. I didn't quite hear what the PA announcer said in regards to the Quincy starters, and they didn't send them out skating one at a time, so I'm going to have to do my best with the observations here. Looks like we've got numbers 8, 42, and 37, so that's Cooper Hernan, Cameron Quigley, and Will Martin, as well as number 6, Joseph Hennessy, and what looks to be number 11, Zach Galligan. We're at center ice. The face-off is between McDougall and Hennessy. Here we go. We're underway. It's a scrum around, and it's picked up by Tien. Tien across the blue line, and he's cut off by Quigley. Now Quincy trying to move it up, but too many white shirts, and it's collected by Gurdon. Gurdon sends it off the boards into the neutral zone. Tien pokes it ahead, gets it all the way into the Quincy end. Quigley tracks it down, sends it along the boards. A bit of a scrum along those boards, and it's poked away. Brookline almost had it, but no. Oh, Tien recovers it, centering hit, and it just goes off the back of the net. Quincy now trying to reset and clear their way out. Brookline bringing some forward press. A long pass misses its mark, and it's going to be collected easily by James Redding. Redding going to come around while some line changes are made. Pass to Gurdon, now ahead to McDougall, who hasn't switched yet. McDougall sends a pass ahead. Finds Henry Ames. Ames the shot, saved by Freeman. First shot on goal of the day is made by Henry Ames, as now they'll finish switching to the second line featuring Ames, Owen Erdman, and what looked to be number 3, Marcus Peiss. Face-off is collected by Quincy, and they're trying to run their way through. Number 28, Weaving, gets it across to 22, but puck is poked away from him, goes to the corner. Bit of a scrum for the corner, and good effort by Brookline to get it out of there. Sent back in by 24. Rohan Gervais got it in the corner, and a couple of taps ahead. Now it's with Ames. Poked away from Ames by Quincy's number 22. And now sent around the corner, again recovered by Quincy, and they send it to the back boards. Chased down by Gervais. Sends it ahead to Owen Erdman. Erdman lifts it, finds Ames. Ames got some space to work. He's just going to launch it into the Quincy end so they can make some switches. Puck is recovered by McDougall. McDougall now coming around the back as they switch back to the first line. Sends it around the back to Tien. Tien trying to chase it down. He sends it back along the boards. Weldon now fighting against Quigley. He gets it away to McDougall. McDougall skating with it in the corner. Weaves his way around his man. Now coming around the back, looking for an option. Centering pass, but nobody there. Off the boards, it's collected and sent back in by Gervais, but deflected. McDougall recovers it. Now coming around the back once again. He gets tripped, and no whistle, maybe a delayed penalty. It is a delayed penalty. Brookline trying to take advantage. Tien lifts it towards the middle, and it's downed, and now they're going to call the delayed penalty. Good penalty draw by Steve McDougall. And we got our first comments in the live chat from Lilia Burton Patel. Hi, thank you for everything you do. It makes it so much easier to watch games too. Go BHS. And you know what, Lilia? I love doing this. I mean, thank you to the teams and all the boosters, the parents that allow me to do this. I'm grateful. Quincy zone faceoff coming up. McDougall wins it, gets it back to Gurdon. Gurdon swings it over to Tien. Now deflected away from Gurdon. A good poke by, I think that's number 6 for Quincy, as Brookline's now trying to recover it. So that was Joseph Hennessy with the poke there that disturbed the Brookline passing attempt to start this power play. Long pass ahead to Tien. He brings it across the blue line, launches a shot, goes high, and we got a stoppage. So a bit of a delay on my part announcing the penalty. That was against number 12, Daniel Pacala. Still 1:35 left on that penalty clock. And after that delay from the high bounce off the netting, we've got another Quincy zone faceoff. It's won cleanly by Quincy. They try and clear it, deflected, and taken down by Gervais. Gervais trying to send it along the boards, couldn't do it. And now it's cleared all the way back to the Brookline end. Snyder collects it and hands it off to Gurdon. Jacob Gurdon sends it up the line, misses Pice, and it's instead collected and sent, deflected off the boards off a hit by Lucas LaMonica. I think it might have deflected off the body of Owen Erdman. Minute 14, still on what's been a very slow power play thus far, a couple of stoppages already. And now we're going to have another face-off between McDougal and Hennessy. And Tian kicks it back to McDougal, who now taps it back to, I believe that's number 4, Noah Gurdon, who sends it ahead to McDougal. McDougal trying to weave his way through, but too many blue shirts in there, and they poke it away. Recovered by Noah Gurdon, sent into Tian. Tian skating towards the middle. Backhander, dangerous rebound. Weldon goes for a shot, turned away. Tian recovers and comes around the back. Tian a centering pass. Oh, gets through everybody. Now trying to chase down the loose puck. It's still a scrum for it. Recovered now by Weldon. Weldon now skating around the right side, coming around the back. Pass to McDougal. McDougal, dangerous chance. Tian the shot, turned away. Freeman, some great saves as Noah Gurdon recovers. Shot deflected. Juicy rebound, but it's covered up by Freeman. Brookline generating some good offense here on the power play, but Daniel Freeman has been a wall. A lot of juicy loose pucks right there in the crease, and no one able to put it home just yet. 29 seconds left on the power play. Faceoff is won by Ames, goes back to Gervais. Gervais skating with it. Pass is deflected, goes into the corner. It's chased down by Quigley. Quigley now skating with it. He's got some room to work. He gets into the neutral zone. He's going to keep going. It's poked away. Done well by Gervais. And the puck is recovered by Jacob Gurdon. Gurdon now sends a pass across. Finds, I believe, that is Pice. Pice's shot turned away by Freeman. And now hit back from Erdman and Gervais. Gervais a shot. Juicy rebound. Pice misses wide. Now another shot, pass to the slot, but nobody there except Presidents. Now number 12 coming into the attack zone for Quincy. The penalty is over. That's Pacala coming back out of the box. Brookline manages to smush him against the boards. They try and clear, but it's recovered by Quigley. Quigley launches a shot, saved by Snyder. So again, several nice chances for Brookline, but hats off to Daniel Freeman, getting several nice saves to keep this game scoreless. Face-off in the Brookline end goes back to Noah Gurdon, who taps it along, but it's being chased down by Quincy, but then recovered by Gurdon again. He sends it along the boards, finds Weldon. Weldon struggled with his first pass attempt, now sends it into open ice, and it's taken easily by Quincy. Now number 8 trying to weave his way through. Too much traffic, poked away. And now it's finally recovered by McDougal. Passes to himself off the boards. Pass ahead for Tian. It's intercepted. And Quincy pushes it back into the neutral zone and into the Brookline end. Now it's recovered by Redding. Redding brings it around the back end. Finds Tian. Tian a pass deflects. Oh, good deflection to Weldon. Weldon coming into the attack zone, but he's stood up by Quigley. Weldon recovers. Now McDougal almost had it. Instead, Weldon's going to have to take it in the corner. Sends it back to Thomas O'Brien. Shot blocked by Quigley, I believe. Tian recovers, passes to McDougal. Now McDougal sends a pass along the boards to Weldon. Weldon to the middle. Oh, deflected by Quigley. That was a juicy chance at a pass for Emmett Tian in the slot. But Cameron Quigley has been a wall on defense. He's listed as a forward, but he's been a shutdown defender today. Might be one of those cases where an opening roster changes. We're going to have a Quincy zone face-off after the puck went over the boards. It's won by Brookline. Quick shot chance, but blocked and poked away by Freeman. The clear attempt gets into the neutral zone. Thomas O'Brien sends it back into the Quincy end. It's taken by, I believe, number 11, sends it ahead to 22. And now it's recovered by Thomas O'Brien. Clear attempt gets past a couple, but then sent back in by Quincy. Chased down again by O'Brien in the corner. He can't get it around the boards, but recovers it himself. Now lifts it over to number 15, Max Guo, who can't get past the Quincy defenders. And now again trying to clear it out. Pass bounces off the skate of Guo and into the neutral zone. Quincy takes it back in. Gurdon levels a player as Guo passes it over to O'Brien. O'Brien sends a long one into the Quincy end, and we've got a whistle. Oh, I think they might be calling icing against Thomas O'Brien. Face-off now between Lincoln Hennessy and Henry Ames, won by Hennessy. All the way back to Quigley. That one's it. No, it's not. It's off the crossbar. Oh my gosh. Rohan Gervais now skating with it on the counterattack, poked away by Quigley. And now Quigley trying to launch a counterattack. Oh, it's a 3-on-1. Pass gets to Quigley. Shot. This one's in. Cameron Quigley was denied by the crossbar once, but he would not be denied a second time. Brookline tried to come with the all-out attack, but Quigley poked it away and smartly got a pass away. Henry Ames was the only one who could go back on defense as 3 Quincy attackers were there. The pass gets to Quigley, and he delivers the first goal of the game. 1-0 Presidents, as we now got a face-off with just over 8 minutes left in the first period. It's chased down by O'Brien, but then recovered by, I think, Joseph Hennessy. Poked away from him. Now again, Thomas O'Brien trying to clear it out. Can't seem to do it. Too much pressure from the Quincy forecheck. Now it gets poked into open ice. O'Brien trying to clear it again. This time finds his target. That's Weldon. Weldon's pass off the mark and poked away. Recovered by O'Brien. His pass blocked. Now he gets it over to Noah Gurdon. Gurdon to the middle to Tien, who gets sandwiched. Puck is poked away. And I think this is Quigley again. Quigley weaving through. A shot goes wide. Might have been turned away by Snyder. Now being chased down by Tien, but too many blue shirts in there. And they send it back into the Brookline end, and we've got a stoppage. Might have been offsides or something. Hard to say. We're going to have a neutral zone face-off. Face-off is won by McDougall, goes back to Jacob Gurdon, but it's almost taken away from Gurdon. He had to instantly go back on defense, and he just barely manages to get the puck away to Tien. Tien skating along in the neutral zone, now across the blue line, turning around, looking for his options. A shot goes wide from Weldon. It's recovered by Gurdon. Gurdon sends it towards the middle, deflected. Oh, juicy chance for Weldon. That one's in! Caleb Weldon with the hustle around the slot. He pokes away the juicy rebound off the shot from Gurdon, and he ties this one at 1 apiece. That's how you respond. Just over a minute since the first goal of the game, and Caleb Weldon scores the equalizer. Now we got a dropped face-off. Is going to be won by Quincy. They get it into the Brookline end, but it's recovered by Noah Gurdon. A couple quick passes. Redding's passes off the mark and chased down by Quigley. Quigley clears it all the way into the Brookline end, but they're going to call icing. Brookline's first goal of the game scored by the senior forward Caleb Weldon, with the assist coming from the senior co-captain defenseman Jacob Gurdon. 1-1 the score, 6:39 left in the first period, and we got a Quincy end face-off. Won by Henry Ames, goes back to Redding. Redding swings it over to Noah Gurdon. He tries to hit it, but it's deflected away. Gurdon manages to recover. Pass one-timer turned away by Freeman. Quigley recovers. Can't clear it, goes back to Redding. Redding sends it towards the middle. Oh, it deflects wide. Now a scrum for the puck, and it's collected by Quincy. Passed into the neutral zone. This is Quincy's number 5. Has it poked away by Redding, but he chases it down again. Redding, some nice defense there, and the puck gets to him. Now he tries to lift it into the neutral zone, recovered by number 11, Zach Galligan. He sends it back to Quigley, now back to Galligan. Galligan back over to Quigley. Quigley sends it into the neutral zone, finds number 18, Riley O'Connell. His pass ahead aimed at number 5, Jerry Caldwell, misses the mark. Redding gets there first, sends it along the boards as Quincy's making a switch. Pice sends a pass over to Owen Erdman. Erdman coming across the blue line. Slap shot is turned away by Freeman. Chased down, tapped over. Oh, a juicy pass. Shot turned away by Freeman. Pad save off the shot by Connor Erdman, and the net was knocked off its post anyway. Some nice passing there from Owen Erdman and number 26, Grady Ames, to set up Connor Erdman. They got the Frosch line out there of Grady Ames, Connor Erdman, and Max Guo. Quincy end faceoff is won by Quincy. Number 24 sends it along the boards. Cut off by Thomas O'Brien. O'Brien taps it ahead to Connor Erdman, but he mishandles it, and it's taken along the boards. And now Quincy trying to work on the clear. They get a couple passes. This one gets ahead to Will Martin. Now Martin sending it into the Brookline end, chasing it down in the corner. Still Martin taking it. Coming around the back. Shot is blocked by Gurdon. Now a shot goes all the way back, and a slap shot is blocked and turned away. Again, Brookline trying to clear it out from the corner. They managed to poke it loose. Grady Ames trying to send it ahead, but can't do it. It's tapped back. Juicy chance, but too many white shirts in there. Guo tries to clear it, but can't get it past 24. A big pass. Oh, almost a nice extra pass from Martin. Oh, number 6 tried it. That was Joseph Hennessy, but it deflected wide. Now it's finally sent out into the neutral zone, and it's passed along to Lucas LaMonica. LaMonica lifts it into the Brookline end as Quincy makes a switch after an aggressive shift there. Jacob Gurdon sends it along the boards to Caleb Weldon, who just switched in. Weldon now sends it along the boards. Taken away by Quincy. Oh, almost a dangerous chance, but Jacob Gurdon poked it away. Now McDougall passes ahead to Tien. Tien aggressively across the blue line. Tien coming up the left side, tries a centering pass, but it's deflected away by Cameron Quigley. Juicy chance after a check, but it's recovered by Quincy. They send it a long ways, and that's going to be icing. Or no, is that going to be a... Oh, I think this might be a penalty on McDougall. Indeed, this is going to be a penalty against Brookline's number 5, Steve McDougall. 4 minutes and 7 seconds left here in the first period. We are tied at 1 apiece, and Quincy now has a juicy chance with a 2-minute power play. They send out Joseph Hennessy, Cooper Hernan, Cameron Quigley, Zach Galligan, and Will Martin as their first power play unit. And it looks like we're going to have a neutral zone face-off to start, as Brookline's got their PK unit of Rohan Gervais, James Redding, Emmett Tien, and Caleb Weldon. This is Hernan with the puck. He sent it back to Martin. It's poked away by Tien and sent all the way down to the Quincy end. Collected by Freeman, gives it over to Quigley. Quigley hands it off for Hennessy. Hennessy coming up the far side into the neutral zone, poked away by Weldon, but recovered by Hernan. Hernan into the attack zone, shot turned away by Snyder. Recovered by Quigley. He comes around the back, still skating with some space, sends it over to Hennessy. Hennessy shot deflected away, recovered by Martin. Oh, a juicy pass, but he's saved by Snyder on the shot by Quigley. Oh, another juicy chance. Martin sends it to the middle. Shot turned away by Snyder. He's trying to cover it up, and this net is knocked off the post. Zach Snyder playing the role of the wall here on the penalty kill. As that was a dangerous chance. Will Martin found Cameron Quigley right in front of the net. But Zach Snyder did a good job, just laid flat, covered as much area as he could, and prevented that puck from getting past him. 1:15 still left on the power play. Hennessy against Ames in the face-off, and it's being scrummed for, poked into open space, and recovered by Martin, sent back to Galligan. Galligan now over to Martin. Martin skating in, passes to the corner to Hennessy. Hennessy into the slot, deflects away, recovered by Quigley. Quigley passes over to Martin. Martin decides to shoot off the side of the net, no good. Recovered by Hennessy. Hennessy passes over to Galligan. Galligan fires a shot, deflects but wide. Recovered by Hennessy again, passes to the back to Martin. Martin coming around the back. Pass back to Galligan. Galligan passes over to Quigley. Quigley passes it down to Hernan. Now back out to Quigley. Quigley over to Martin. Shot turned away by Snyder. Off the rebound The puck gets loose and is picked up by Hernan and passed back to Galligan. Galligan a shot, turned away by Snyder again. Recovered by Hernan, and now stolen away by Gurdon, and Jacob Gurdon with the long clear. 15 seconds left as Freeman gets a pass to Galligan. 10 seconds left in the power play. Galligan desperately trying to get into the attack zone. He does. Fires a shot, saved by Snyder, rebound by Quigley. Quigley passes to Galligan, who taps it back to Quigley. Quigley trying to weave his way through. Long clear. Goes all the way to the back, and that's going to be icing because the penalty just ended. How about the efforts of Zach Snyder? A number of big chances for Quincy. But for the second time on the opposite side this time, we see a great goaltending effort on the penalty kill. 2 minutes, 1 second left in the first period as the faceoff is collected by Redding and sent along the boards. Emmett Tien now skating into the neutral zone, still going into the attack zone, and we've got I think that might be an offsides call. I think they're going to say that I couldn't see if it was either Weldon or McDougall who went across the blue line prematurely. And so we're going to have a neutral zone face-off. And they're sending out Weldon to take the face-off, and he taps it over. It's collected by Tien, and it's deflected into the Quincy end. Quincy trying to clear it out along the boards. Number 28 gets it past Tien. That's Timmy Kelly. Kelly trying to fight his way through the neutral zone. Gets it into the Brookline end. Redding's clear fails, and it's sent along the boards. Now collected by number 22, Pat Walsh. Walsh trying to fight against Gervais. Gervais gets it away to Weldon. Weldon sends a pass into the neutral zone, intercepted by LaMonica, who sends it back into the Brookline end. Recovered by Snyder and given to Redding. Now to Tien. Tien pass deflects, finds Weldon. Weldon loses control of it. It's poked away. Oh, a juicy chance. This is Lincoln Hennessy. Shot missed. Now Brookline trying to clear it out. Weldon sends it ahead. It's recovered by number 19, Tyler Larson. Into the neutral zone it goes as teams make a switch. Lincoln Hennessy lost control of the puck. Still trying to come around. Gets it out of the corner over to Cameron Quigley. Long shot deflected away. Recovered and sent along the back. Misses Hennessy. Quigley's going to chase after it, but too many white shirts in there. Brookline now sending it along the boards, and it gets past number 5, Jerry Caldwell, being chased down by Steve McDougall. McDougall couldn't control it, and it's corralled by Galligan, but he couldn't control it either, and so Ames and Erdman trying to fight for it. Henry Ames gets it. Ames a backhand, juicy deflection. Oh, another juicy chance, but it's turned away barely by Freeman. Erdman kind of whiffed on the recovery, and it's sent along the boards. Noah Gurdon taps it back in. Ames and Erdman again battling for it. Trying to get it out of there. They send it along the boards. Quigley sends a pass, misses Galligan. And again, it's pinned along the boards. This time it's Owen Erdman who comes out, takes a shot, deflected away by Quigley. Ames fighting for it in the corner. It's poked away, and that's going to end the first period. We are through one here at Walter Brown Arena. The score after the first period, the Brookline High Warriors 1, the Quincy High Presidents 1. As we get ready to go to the break, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Music Go Round, New England's largest retailer of used musical equipment. Located on Route 9 in Natick, Music Go Round prides itself on the quality of its used products and the fair prices it offers to its customers, whether they're buying, selling, or trading in their gear. Reuse, recycle, and rock. Visit Music Go Round, located on Route 9 in Natick, or go online at mgrboston.com to find out more. Once again, that's mgrboston.com. Stop by, have some fun, and be sure to thank them for sponsoring this broadcast. So big thanks to Music Go Round for sponsoring, and now we're going to do a bit of a PSA, and this one's going to be for the Brookline Food Pantry. The Brookline Food Pantry provides groceries to Brookline residents in need of food assistance. The pantry saw a huge increase in demand for food assistance at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that number, unfortunately, has not gone back down. Since March of 2020, the food pantry has served and continues to serve an average of 650 to 700 households per week, more than 4 times the rate of families served pre-COVID. The Brookline Food Pantry is fighting the good fight to end hunger in our community, and they are always looking for more people willing to lend a hand, whether through monetary donations, direct food donations, or volunteers in the pantry. Food donations can be made in person at United Parish on 210 Harvard Street in Brookline on Wednesdays from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and on Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Visit brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339 for more information about how you can help the Brookline Food Pantry feed your community. Once again, that's brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339. And just a note, you can find more information about both Music Go Round and the Brookline Food Pantry in the description of this video below. Links, phone numbers, all that good stuff. And you can also find a link to my own personal website, jessesports.com, if you would like to find out more about me, the services I provide, and how you can commission those services. You can also find a link to my Instagram account if you'd like to follow me on social media. I usually post a highlight or two from any game I stream the next day on my Instagram account. Like, for example, if the game were to stop here, I'd probably post a video of Caleb Weldon's goal on my Instagram tomorrow, just as an example. And once again, remember, if you're enjoying the broadcast, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, you can subscribe to the channel. And, of course, participate in the live chat. We've gotten a few so far. I mentioned Lilia Burton-Patel earlier, and then from Diane Yenovich, stay tough, Brookline. I presume this was after the first goal of the game was scored by Cameron Quigley to give Quincy a 1-0 lead. And then from Lan Denny, way to go, Caleb, which definitely came after the first goal of the game for Brookline was scored by Caleb Weldon. And really, what a season Weldon has been having to start. He has scored in all but one of the team's first 4 games for a total of 4 goals. He's averaging 1 goal a game, and that's pretty impressive. And hats off to Jacob Gurdon on the assist as well. That is his 2nd assist of the season. And the first came, surprise, surprise, against Quincy. It's deja vu all over again. But this is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan live for the first time in 2 years from Walter Brown Arena in Boston, Massachusetts, for Brookline High's first proper home game in about, I think, 22 months. I'm going to take off my mic for a sec, but I'll be back for the start of the second period. Stay tuned. Oh, we got a special moment here. The PA announcer taking a special moment to celebrate, as you can see with their bleach blonde hair up there. That is the 2021 MIAA Division I Boys Soccer State Championship team. A big win for Brookline. If you've been following the broadcast on my channel, then you saw that championship game, and you know how much of a thriller that was, what a great run it was by the Brookline High boys soccer team, as they ran it all the way to the state championship, defeated rival Newton North 2-1 in double overtime on a thrilling last-second game-winning goal by Isaac Heffes, assisted by Julian Gravero, to finish what was an amazing Cinderella playoff run to give Brookline its first ever boys soccer state championship. So a nice little nod to the biggest highlight of the fall season for Brookline, and honestly, what a highlight-filled fall season it was. I'm so happy to be here covering the winter sports as well to follow it up, but man, what a fall it was. The boys soccer team going all the way, the girls soccer team playing over their heads and getting all the way to the quarterfinals. The football team defeating Newton North to win their first Rotary Cup on Thanksgiving in 10 years. Even the field hockey team, I think, made the playoffs for the first time in several years. It was just across the board in the fall. It was a thrilling season, and now we've got winter going. Both the boys and girls basketball teams are undefeated. They're looking strong to start. The boys hockey team is showing promise. You know, girls hockey looking strong. Like, there's so much to be excited about in Brookline right now in terms of their high school sports. But for right now, let's stay in the moment, because we've got an exciting game right here, right now, here in Walter Brown Arena. Brookline and Quincy getting ready to start the second period, tied at 1 apiece. The first goal of the game came a little less than 7 minutes into the contest, so about midway through the first period. A goal by Cameron Quigley gave the Presidents a 1-0 lead, but Brookline answered back in just over a minute with just under 7 minutes left in the first period. It was Caleb Weldon who tapped home a rebound off a shot by Jacob Gurdon to tie things up at 1 apiece. And once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, bringing you live coverage of this high school boys hockey contest. Face off in the middle between Hennessy and McDougall. There's the puck drop. They're scrumming around the middle. It's poked loose, chased down and tapped back. And back into the neutral zone, and then back into the Brookline end, recovered by Jacob Gurdon. A long pass is tapped ahead by Steve McDougall all the way to the boards on the Quincy end. Quigley comes around the back, hands it off to Zach Galligan, who passes ahead to Will Martin, taps to Quigley. Quigley sending it off the boards, trying to pass it to himself, poked away by Gurdon, and Gurdon now sends it along the boards. Weldon trying to clear it out past Galligan. Quigley keeps it in the Brookline end, but they play conservative, and Gurdon passes it ahead, tapped from TN to McDougall, and nice tap back to TN. TN into the attack zone, over to Weldon, off the mark. Weldon chases it down, centering pass, off the mark, chased down by Joseph Hennessy. Hennessy pass, almost taken away, juicy loose puck. Weldon gets it, but he's pinned to the boards. Too many blue shirts in there. Now they're fighting along the corner, and I believe that was Walsh, Pat Walsh, who just cleared it all the way over to the Brookline end. That's going to be icing. So now some line shifts here. We're going to go back to the Erdman, Ames, Pice line for Brookline. Face-off is won by Quincy, but puck is being fought for in the corner. They manage to get it ahead to Pat Walsh. Walsh passes it across to number 28, who comes across the blue line, poked away but recovered. The shot by number 24, LaMonica, is deflected into the air. Chased down in the corner by Walsh, poked loose, and it's Gervais who comes through. Rohan Gervais into the neutral zone. A pass over to Owen Erdman. Shot turned away by Freeman, and ultimately recovered by LaMonica. Weaves his way and passes ahead for Walsh. Walsh now coming across the blue line one-on-one, coming around his defender. Shot is saved and covered up by Snyder as the net gets kicked off its post. Now the teams again shift back. Brookline goes back to its first line of McDougall, Tien, and Weldon. Face-off won by Quincy. Long shot is blocked by Tien and recovered by Weldon. Weldon passes for Tien. Tien trying to tap it ahead, trying to get around Zach Galligan, but can't do it. Galligan sends it along the boards, so recovered by not Weldon, McDougall, but the shot was turned away. Now Noah Gurdon recovers it in the neutral zone. Tien trying to send it along the boards, collected by McDougall, and he takes it into the Quincy end, but meets with Quigley. And puck comes loose, taken. Oh, dangerous chance! Weldon almost scored on a turnover there, but it was saved by Freeman. Now Quigley trying to take it through himself. He's been so dangerous. Into the attack zone. Shot turned away by Snyder. Rebound is recovered and sent along the boards, but along the boards it's taken by Noah Gurdon. A long pass misses everybody, and that's going to be icing. Quincy sends back out the Hennessy, Hernan, Martin line against the Ames, Erdman, Pice line. Faceoff goes off the foot of the ref, and the pass goes back to number 19, who tries to pass it along the boards, taken away by Gervais and lifted into the neutral zone, collected by LaMonica. LaMonica turns around, sends it off the boards, poked away by Ames. Henry Ames into the Quincy zone, but gets smushed into the boards, and LaMonica sends it along over to number 19, Tyler Larson. Oh, but it's stolen away now by Pice. Marcus Pice, attempted pass, deflected away by LaMonica. Sent off the boards again, taken by Erdman. Shot just wide. Might have been deflected. Recovered by LaMonica. He sends it into the neutral zone to Joseph Hennessy. Hennessy a pass to Martin, one-on-one. Can't get around Gervais. Gervais fighting for it. Oh, poked away. Juicy chance. Shot saved by Snyder, and they couldn't collect the rebound. Now Brookline trying to clear it out. Puck is poked loose, taken by Pice, gets across the blue line, but wrestled away from it. Quigley recovers it. Pass from Martin back to Quigley. Quigley across the blue line. He's surrounded by Brookline players on all sides, just has to send it off the boards as Quincy makes some switches. Now this one is sent up the boards. It's collected by Galligan. Galligan pass over to Quigley. Quigley pass ahead, misses its mark, and collected by Redding. Redding sends it all up the boards, and it's going to go all the way down to the Quincy end. No icing. Chased down and passed along. Oh, a juicy turnover, but Brookline misses the pass. Can't connect on it. Quigley collects it. Pass ahead to Walsh. Walsh sends it into the Brookline end, and it's covered up by Snyder. Face-off in the Brookline end between McDougall and Pacala. Face-off goes all the way back to Snyder, and it's covered up again. We got 10 minutes and 58 seconds still on the clock here in the second period. We're only 4 minutes in. Still tied at 1 apiece. Another face-off won by Pacala. Goes back to Walsh. Walsh tries to backhand it, but too many white shirts in there, and Redding collects it. Redding trying to clear it out, gets it into the neutral zone. Larson sends it over the boards. And we're going to have a neutral zone face-off. They're going to send Weldon to take the face-off. Sent into the Quincy end and collected by LaMonica, sent over to Larson. Larson pass intercepted by Weldon. Weldon coming around, shot saved by Freeman and covered up. As we get ready for the Quincy zone face-off, both teams making some switches. It'll be McDougall versus Hennessy in the face-off circle. And it's won by Hennessy. Goes back to Galligan, and a long clear off the boards is going to be icing. So we go right back to the Quincy end for another face-off. Effectively a do-over. McDougall versus Hennessy once again. Puck is dropped, poked loose. Thomas O'Brien recovers, but it's stolen away by Hernan. Jacob Gurdon, the last line of defense, he pokes it away. Weldon tries to send it off the boards, but it goes over the boards, and we're going to have another neutral zone face-off. It'll be Lincoln Hennessy against Henry Ames in the face-off circle right at mid-ice. And it's recovered by Pice. Poked away, though, by Quigley. Quigley trying to fight his way through. Couldn't get through Thomas O'Brien, and Ames sends it ahead to Erdman. Erdman can't collect it. It's collected by Galligan. Passed ahead to Caldwell. Caldwell lifts it into the air and into the corner. It's chased down. No, that's Caldwell, number 5. That was Riley O'Connell who lifted it. My mistake. Pice tries to clear it. Collected by Quigley. Quigley lifts it in, and Gurdon tries to clear it out. Right back to Quigley. Quigley tries to shoot. Poked away by Pice. And now Gurdon trying to fight his way into the neutral zone. Gets in there, but it's taken away by Lincoln Hennessy. Now an attempted clearing hit is collected by Hennessy. Hennessy a long pass. Finds Caldwell, but couldn't collect it cleanly. Now it's sent all the way down into the Quincy end. It's chased down by Galligan. Galligan a pass to a wide open Caldwell as Brookline's trying to make a switch. He's into the attack zone, being chased by Redding. His pass poked away. Collected by LaMonica. LaMonica now skating his way through into the attack zone. He's trying to weave his way around Redding. Centering pass is deflected into the air by Gervais and then collected by Ames. Passed over to Tien. Emmett Tien coming into the attack zone as Brookline makes a switch. Long shot is caught out of the air by Freeman. And that will stop the action. That was almost very dangerous for Brookline. They were making a defensive switch right as they committed a turnover. But good efforts by James Redding and Rohan Gervais to preserve the tie. Face-off in the Quincy end is collected by Gervais, but he couldn't get it past the blue line, or couldn't keep it past the blue line. Brookline trying to get their way back into the attack end. Now smushed against the boards, collected by Weldon in open space. Weldon comes around, shot saved by Freeman. .8:57 now left here in the second period. Still Brookline 1, Quincy 1. Quincy end face-off. I think it's McDougall and Hennessy again. Won by McDougall. Sent back to Gervais. Gervais sends it along the boards. It's being chased after by McDougall. McDougall collects it. Sends it back for Redding. Redding trying to fight it away from Martin. He does. McDougall now sends it off the boards. It's being chased down by Weldon. Weldon now sends it along the boards. Somebody there, they fight for it, but it's ultimately taken by Will Martin. Now Joseph Hennessy sends it along the boards, but it's taken by Weldon. Now a fight for it in the corner, and it's poked away, but collected by Tien. Tien now coming around, pass back, misses Gervais, dangerous turnover. Joseph Hennessy takes it, passes it for Martin. Oh, the pass is off the mark. Now Martin trying to keep control of it, manages to pass down to Hennessy. Hennessy a pass to an open Galligan. Galligan takes a shot, turned away, recovered by Hennessy. Juicy chance, but nothing there. Weird deflection, and instead Brookline working on the counterattack now. This is Tien. Tien weaving his way through, takes the shot, deflected. Oh, McDougall tried to poke one in, but couldn't do it. McDougall recovers the rebound, passes to an open defenseman. Whiffs on the shot, that was Gervais. Pass ahead instead to McDougall. McDougall tries to pass to the middle, intercepted by Quigley, and he passes it ahead to Caldwell. Caldwell pass into the neutral zone. Nobody there except Emmett Tien. Tien now lifts it into the Quincy end. Oh, juicy rebound. Connor Erdman tried to score but couldn't do it. He collided with Quigley. Now a takeaway again by Quigley. He can't get through Noah Gurdon. Oh, but the puck does get loose, and now Quigley passes it. Oh, he misses the mark. Recovered. Chance deflected. Recovered by Connor Erdman. He gets it through, but not completely through. Galligan recovers it. Galligan, a centering hit, and it goes and is covered up by Snyder. What a wild sequence that was. Both teams trying to catch their opponents napping there. And the biggest chance, of course, came for Connor Erdman, as Freeman just didn't cover up the puck. Heads-up play by the freshman. Almost got his first varsity goal, but collided hard with Quigley. Instead, we got a Brookline zone face-off. Chased down by Noah Gurdon. Goes along the boards, collected by Larson. Now pass over to Lincoln Hennessy. Hennessy gets it over to O'Connell. O'Connell coming around. Nothing there, and it's turned away easily. Oh, but Larson now takes a shot deflected wide. Thomas O'Brien sends it ahead, but it's collected by O'Connell. He lifts it into the corner. Noah Gurdon gets there first, sends it ahead, and now it's lifted into the air, but taken out of the air by Lincoln Hennessy. Puck gets poked away from him, chased down by Thomas O'Brien. Now tapped ahead, gets to Marcus Pice. Pice across the blue line, poked away from him, recovered by Henry Ames. Too many blue shirts in there, it gets poked away, sent along the boards to LaMonica. LaMonica tries to clear it, but Gervais sends it back in, goes all the way back to LaMonica. LaMonica now passes over to O'Connell. O'Connell passes into the neutral zone, but it's taken by Thomas O'Brien, passed over to Gervais. Gervais pass ahead, misses everybody, and is recovered by LaMonica instead. LaMonica now goes into the attack zone himself, fires a shot deflected by Gervais. LaMonica recovers, juicy pass, taken for a second, shot misses wide, recovered by LaMonica, poked away by O'Brien, now taken by Walsh, but he can't get past O'Brien, has to pass it back to Galligan. Now it's going along the back, it's being chased down, recovered by number 12, Pacala. Loose puck trying to clear it. Battling in the corner. Puck gets loose. Gervais sends it over to Owen Erdman. Erdman now passes to Ames. Henry Ames lost control of the puck. It's poked away. Dangerous chance now on the rush for Quincy. This is Walsh, who can't get a clean shot off, and it's covered up by Snyder. 5:22 left in the second period, as the action has now started moving much faster. 1-1 still the score, as we got a Brookline end face-off. Won by Brookline, and Gervais sends it all the way around the boards. It's going all the way down to the Quincy end, and it's a race for it, and Weldon battling Galligan for it. He gets it to McDougall, but they lost control of it. And now Galligan trying to clear it, taken by Gurdon. Gurdon, a long shot, deflected down by Quigley. They try and clear it again. Gurdon takes it again, and again it's deflected. This time goes to Martin. Martin tries to clear it. Dangerous deflection, collected by McDougall. Attempted pass, deflects, juicy deflection. Oh, but it's cleared away. Collected by Gervais. Pass to an open Gurdon. Gurdon, another shot, turned away. McDougall the rebound, tries to poke it in, can't do it. Turned away by Freeman. Again, they're trying to clear, but they can't do it. Gurdon collects it. Weldon tries a shot wide, collected by McDougall. He tried to weave his way through. Too many defenders, and now they're scrumming for it, and it's cleared out this time, and it's a race for the puck between Martin and Gervais. It's pinned up against the wall. Hernan trying to take it, but it's poked away from him. Owen Erdman gets there first. He tries to clear it out, but it's tapped back in. Collected by Erdman again. Again, his pass blocked, but now Gurdon lifts it all the way down to the Quincy end. And they're going to call icing. Again, hats off to the goalies. We've seen a number of great scoring chances just not land because of the efforts of Zach Snyder and Daniel Freeman. 4:06 left in the second, still tied at 1 apiece. It'll be Ames versus Pacala. Pacala wins the faceoff. Passed around to Larson. Larson's pass misses wide. And it's poked away. being fought for in the corner. Redding wins the fight, gets to Erdman, and the loose puck is picked up by Ames. Ames pass misses Noah Gurdon, and it's cleared back into the neutral zone. Pushed back into the Quincy end. And now the pass misses Larson, but gets ahead to Walsh. Walsh sends it into the Brookline end, goes around the boards, is corralled by number 28, Timmy Kelly, and sent back to LaMonica, now pinned against the boards. Now poked ahead, it goes into the Quincy end. Marcus Peiss trying to come around with his speed and collect it. He does, trying to come along the back, waiting for the cavalry to come. He sends it back along the boards. Chased down by Owen Erdman. He sends it back along the boards. Now Peiss back along the boards again. LaMonica collects it this time, lifts it into the neutral zone. Poked away, though, but back to LaMonica. LaMonica again lifts it. Deflected down by Redding, but they poke it loose. This is Kelly. Kelly trying to weave his way through. Poked away from behind by Peiss. He's trying to come around the back now. Can't fight against Noah Gurdon. He sends it around the boards. Collected by O'Connell. O'Connell comes around, deflected, taken by Peiss. Pass gets to Tien. Tien trying to weave his way through. Big breakaway for Emmett Tien. Shot turned away by Freeman. Quigley trying to clear it out. Hard collision. And the loose puck is pushed ahead into the neutral zone to O'Connell. O'Connell takes a long shot well wide. Collected by Lincoln Hennessy, who gets leveled as he pushes it around the boards. O'Connell pinned to the boards by Thomas O'Brien. And I think we might have a penalty call against Brookline for one of the hard hits they just delivered. Oh, you know Emmett Tien wants that one back. It's rare you push through for a breakaway like that, but just a great save by Daniel Freeman to preserve the tie. This penalty is against number 10, Jacob Gurdon. 2 minutes and 16 seconds, so for much of the rest of this period, Brookline is going to be on the PK. Face-off won by Brookline and immediately cleared out by, I believe, Gervais. It goes all the way back to Freeman, who hands it off to Quigley. Quigley hands it off to Martin. Martin skating with it into the neutral zone, taking it across the blue line himself, trying to wave his way around, gets around Gervais, tries a shot, turned away. Pass goes back to Galligan, back to Martin. Martin poked at by McDougall. Martin still controlling it. Passes over to, I think, Hernan. Now back to Martin. Now back and up top to Galligan. Now back over to, my mistake, that's Hennessy. Now to Galligan, shot deflects wide. Now Hennessy trying to collect it in the corner. Loose puck. As it's now collected by Martin, passed back to Galligan, now back to Martin. Martin, a centering pass, misses Galligan. And oh, we've got a fight! Or we had a fight for a second there between Noah Gurdon and Joseph Hennessy. The crowd goes wild, but this might be another penalty, and it's going to be against both of them. So we get a fighting penalty against Noah Gurdon, the sophomore defenseman for Brookline, and Joseph Hennessy, the senior forward and co-captain for Quincy. So it's going to be another 2 minutes for both players, it looks like, as the officials trying to clarify what to put on the scoreboard, and it looks like they're just going to stay with 5-on-4, so the two players are off the ice. But I guess they're just deciding it evens out. So it won't be a 4-on-3. It's just going to remain a plain old 5-on-4. Looked like the two players got tangled up. And then I think Hennessy took exception. But it's hard to say because at a certain point it was away from the puck. So I can't really say exactly what happened. So I'm not going to pretend to. Minute 17 left in the period. Face-off won by Quincy, goes back to Galligan. Galligan a pass over to Quigley. Quigley sends it down to, I'm not sure who. Now back to Quigley. Quigley, a dangerous pass. Poked away. Oh, a dangerous chance. Somehow walled off by Snyder in the Brookline defense, and they clear it out. Galligan collects it, passes to Quigley. Quigley back to Galligan. Now Galligan's skating with it. Goes across the blue line himself. Trying to weave his way through. Poked at by Weldon. And now passed away to Lincoln Hennessy. Now back to Quigley. Quigley attempted long pass down to Galligan. Now off the boards, misses Hernan, goes back to Quigley. Quigley, a shot, deflects down, juicy rebound, that one goes in! Lincoln Hennessy buries the go-ahead score with 26.3 seconds left in the period and 11 seconds left on the power play. Two to one, Quincy now leads Brookline. Here in the closing seconds of the second period, Lincoln Hennessy gets the power play goal with an assist from, I believe, Cameron Quigley. And you might have noticed the official handing the puck to the coach. I think that might be Lincoln Hennessy's first varsity goal, as he is a freshman. .3 ticks left. Quincy leads 2-1. Face-off is collected by Weldon. Has to chase it down. A dangerous pass just misses Tien. Tien recovers, tries to send it to the middle. And now it's sent away to Walsh. Walsh trying to clear it out. They get it out to the neutral zone. Tien tries to collect it. Harassed by Kelly, and Gurdon chases it down. Just 5 seconds left in the period. As Brookline still trying to work it along the boards. Oh, turning around is Walsh. Walsh fires a shot caught at the last second by Snyder. And that's going to end the second period. Through two, the score, the Quincy Presidents 2, the Brookline Warriors 1. As we go into the break, once again, this broadcast brought to you by Music Go Round. Music Go Round is the largest retailer of used musical equipment in New England and is the perfect place to go for both buying and selling your used gear. Music Go Round prides itself on the quality of its used products, which are all tested and retested to ensure they're in great working condition and sold at a great price. And when you bring in your own equipment to sell or to trade, the store's certified buyers will offer you a fair price. They will explain the basis of the offer and even tell you how much they hope to resell it for, operating on a model of complete transparency. Reuse, recycle, and rock. Visit Music Go Round, located at 810 Worcester Street on Route 9 in Natick, or call the store for more information at 508-647-6874. Once again, that's 810 Worcester Street on Route 9 in Natick, or call 508-647-6874. And be sure to thank the folks at Music Go Round for sponsoring this broadcast. And now for a word from our second sponsor for today, Harvest Wealth Management. We have a message for all you parents out there listening to the game who are thinking about how you're going to pay for college for your young athletes. It is never too early to start planning for college, especially if you think you'll need financial aid. The average cost of a private 4-year college in the U.S. today is over $50,000 a year. And if your student is interested in one of the many top-tier colleges in the Boston area, the cost could exceed $70,000 a year. But don't despair. There are many financial aid and other college funding strategies available to you to reduce your out-of-pocket college costs by tens of thousands of dollars per child per year. But you need to start early. Be proactive. Be proactive, and learn the financial aid rules to take advantage of these strategies. Harvest Wealth Management of Needham, Massachusetts can help you realize your student's college dream. Harvest Wealth Management is a full-service financial planning firm. They specialize in helping families with college-bound children maximize their financial aid and utilize other tax-driven strategies to reduce college costs. For many families in the middle class today, it is impossible to save enough for their children's college education. Harvest Wealth Management believes it is not about saving more for college, but paying less. They can design a customized college funding strategy for your child and lead you through the financial aid process, which can be confusing and where mistakes can be costly. So don't stress. Call Oliver Scholle at Harvest Wealth Management, 781-902-0981, and ask for a complimentary meeting. Or visit them online at harvestwm.com to learn more. Again, that is Harvest Wealth Management, LLC, at 75 2nd Avenue, Suite 420, Needham, Massachusetts, 02494, or call 781-902-0981, or go online to harvestwm.com. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. And we got more from the live chat from Bogey Golf. Let's go, Jesse. It's Zach Solom. Shout out Ben Rosenthal. Well, good to see you, Zach. Good to see you on watching on the stream here, Zach. Heck of a game you and your teammates had back on Monday. You had your own little homecoming, your first regular season home game for the boys basketball team in 22 months. Finished with a strong 82-69 win against Catholic Memorial, and you can see that stream on the channel here. Plenty of highlight-worthy plays, certainly plenty from the senior co-captain Zach Solom, whose name I now know how to pronounce correctly because he was kind enough to correct me on Instagram. And again, that's something I encourage to anyone watching now. If I'm pronouncing any of the hockey players' names wrong, please correct me. I'd rather be right than think I'm right. And of course, as well, if you're enjoying the broadcast, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my upcoming broadcasts. I am booked to cover all home games for Brookline High boys hockey this season, and I'm booked for 2 more basketball games next week for the BA-BC Holiday Tournament. So be sure to stay tuned for those. You can also, in the description of this video, you can see information for our 2 sponsors today, Music Go Round and Harvest Wealth Management, as well as the Brookline Food Pantry, and even some extra information about me, my personal website, jessesports.com, link to my Instagram account if you want to follow me on Instagram, see some of the highlight plays that I post on my Instagram account, or if you want to reach out to me directly through email, my email address is also in the description below. So with that in mind, I'm going to take a quick break off the mic, but I'll be back with the 3rd period. Stay tuned. You can see the Brookline Warriors now lined up at the tunnel, getting ready to come out for the third period. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Walter Brown Arena in Boston, Massachusetts, bringing you live coverage of today's high school boys hockey contest between the hosting Brookline High Warriors and the visiting Quincy High Presidents. Right now, the score is 2-1 in favor of the visitors. Quincy with the 2-1 advantage. They got the first goal of the game in the first period off the stick of junior co-captain Cameron Quigley to take a 1-0 lead. And then after the score was tied in the first period, they scored again in the second period. A power play goal scored by freshman Lincoln Hennessy, assisted by Quigley. As for Brookline, their lone goal today was the equalizer back in the first period, scored by the senior forward Caleb Weldon, assisted by senior defenseman and co-captain Jacob Gurdon. So here come the Warriors back out onto the ice, warming up for the third and final period of this contest. And for them, clearly the key is they've got to put one in the back of the net. The only question is how. They've generated a lot of good chances that just haven't gone home because of that guy leading the charge out of the gate for the Quincy Presidents, and that is goalie Daniel Freeman. He's been standing on his head so far today, and that's not even to say that the Brookline goalie Zach Snyder has done a bad job. He's had a number of nice saves as well. It's been a solid outing for both him and the Brookline defense. But right now, Freeman has still limited the Brookline Warriors to just a single goal so far today. And that's not for a lack of chances. So Brookline's going to have to find a way to put one in the back of the net if they want to stay in this contest and maybe send this one to overtime. Snyder and Freeman back between their respective pipes. Snyder over here on my left, Freeman on my right. 2-1 is the score in favor of Quincy as we get ready to start the third and final period of this game. You know, one of the things that's always going to be so funny to me about ice hockey is it's so reflexive for me to say ball game about any game I cover. But hockey is like the only sport I can't say that about. Just a little bit of random silliness before we get this one underway. Quincy sending out the Pacala-Kelly-Walsh line against Brookline's line of McDougall and Weldon and Jacob Gurdon on the wing. Oh no, it was a disguise as now Emmett Tian coming in on the wing. A dangerous pass to Weldon. Shot just missed off the side of the net. Oh, they're trying to poke it in, but they can't do it. That was an interesting play by Brookline. They started Jacob Gurdon on the wing and Emmett Tian as a defenseman. At least those were their starting positions, but then Tian ends up coming, sort of sneaking around the back, getting across the blue line, and almost generating a great scoring chance for Caleb Weldon. Quincy's own face-off. is collected by Quincy. Lifted, deflected, Weldon. Weldon whiffs on the shot, collects it. Shot saved by Freeman. Juicy rebound is collected by Weldon, sent towards the crease again and turned away by Freeman. Now collected by, I believe, Quigley. Cameron Quigley into the neutral zone, now into the attack zone. Coming around, shot, misses wide. Rebound collected by Zach Galligan. Passes down, check, and taken by Gurdon, who might have just tripped up Walsh. And Snyder clumsily sent it to the backboards, but Gurdon somehow stole it away. Passes ahead to Tian. Tian weaves through to the neutral zone, now taken by Gervais. Rohan Gervais shot misses high and wide. Weldon now sends it along the boards, and it's collected by Galligan. Galligan now sending it up the boards, finds Kelly. Kelly into the attack zone, weaving his way through. Shot deflected away. Gervais now passes, skips away from, I think that's Connor Erdman, stolen away by Hennessy. Lincoln Hennessy trying to poke his way through, finally hit away by Redding. Collected by O'Connell, passed into open space. It's being chased after by Caldwell and Pice. Ultimately poked away off the backboards, chased down by O'Connell. O'Connell trying to skate his way through. Too many white shirts, and it's taken by Gervais. Passed over to Ames. Henry Ames across the blue line. Sends one to the net, turned away. Taken by Pice. Pice, a pass for Grady Ames. His shot deflected and stolen away. Now lifted down the line and to the back end. That's going to be icing. Brookline's first forward line back out there, McDougal, Weldon, and Tian, along with the defensive pairing of Redding and Noah Gurdon. Face-off won by McDougal, goes to Tian. Tian, the shot goes high. Collected by Weldon, passed back to Noah Gurdon. Gurdon, shot deflected, but deflects wide. Weldon pass to McDougal. McDougal trying to come around the back, being pressured, trying to keep control of the puck. It's pinned to the boards. And loose puck picked up by Tian. Tian trying to wave his way through, ran out of room, and it's covered up by Freeman. Again, Brookline desperately generating chances, but nothing is finding pay dirt just yet. Another Quincy end face-off between McDougal and Hennessy. Goes back to Tian. Tian's shot is deflected by Hennessy, collected by Galligan, but they're going to say it went off the netting. So we're going to have another face-off between McDougal and Joseph Hennessy. One for a second by McDougal, but then Martin swoops in and takes it into the neutral zone, now into the attack zone, weaving his way around, runs out of room, and it's poked away, goes to Weldon. Weldon sends it ahead to McDougal. McDougal coming around, trying to fight off Hernan, and we've got a penalty. And I think it's against Hernan. So this might be a power play for Brookline. Indeed it is. They're going to say Hernan. I mean, it looked like he got badly tangled up with McDougal, and they're saying too badly. And so it'll be 2 minutes on the penalty against Cooper Hernan. Face-off in the Quincy zone end. And it's still being scrummed for. Finally goes back to Gervais. Gervais passes it over to Tian. Tian skating along, now sends it off the boards to McDougal. McDougal, a shot turned away, but he recovers it himself and comes back around the back. Still skating with it. Still skating around, passes over to Jacob Gurdon. Gurdon misses Gervais, and it's sent away into the neutral zone by Pakala. Gurdon now passes off the boards, finds Gervais. Gervais across the blue line. Passes back to Weldon. Now Weldon skating with it. Pass deflected, but gets to McDougal. McDougal passes back to Tian. Gervais trying to come around. His handoff to Gurdon fails, but he keeps it in the attack zone just barely. Galligan and Kelly trying to clear it. They get it out to the neutral zone. Tian takes it and takes it back across the blue line. Weaves around a defender, coming in. Now coming around the back, looking for his options. Tries a pass, nobody there. It's being fought for and cleared out. That last clear by Pakala. And I think, are they going to call a penalty against Brookline? They are. They're going to call a penalty against Brookline. I was wondering, as Caleb Weldon was fighting desperately to try and get to that puck before Pakala, and I think they're going to say he held him. I mean, Pakala did fall to the ice, so hard to argue with that call. So now we're going to have a 4-on-4 for the next 44 seconds. And then for the rest of that minute and 16, it's going to be a power play for Quincy. Face-off goes back to Noah Gurdon. He sends it ahead. Ames sends it into open space, but collected by LaMonica. LaMonica passed down. Now pass back to LaMonica. LaMonica weaves around Ames. Pass misses. Miscommunication there. But chased down by Will Martin. Martin now trying to fight off Ames. Can't do it. Ames sends it all the way along the boards. And they're going to call icing. They are still on even strength right now as it's a 4-on-4 situation for the next 18 seconds. And then again, for the remaining minute and 16, Brookline's going to be on the penalty kill. 10 minutes and 44 seconds on the clock here in the third. Quincy still leads 2-1. Brookline zone face-off. It goes back to Snyder, and he has to turn it away. Gurdon taps it off the boards to Gervais. Pass to Tien. Tien into the neutral zone. Now across the blue line. Tien weaving his way through. Shot saved by Freeman, and ultimately collected by Quincy. They're about to go on the power play, and they know it. Quickly into the attack zone. Poked away, and he can't chase it down. It goes along the back end. Tien collects it. Tien lifts it into the neutral zone. Collected by Joseph Hennessy. This is now a power play for the Presidents, as it's sent into the attack zone, collected by Gervais and sent over to Jacob Gurdon. Gurdon now sends it up the boards, all the way to the Quincy end. Coming back around, Quigley takes it and collects it after being checked by McDougall. Now taps it over for Hernan. Hernan over to, I believe, Hennessy. Joseph Hennessy taps it back to Quigley. Quigley gets pinned to the boards. And now Martin trying to clear it out. He manages to get it past the Brookline forwards, and instead it's collected by Gurdon, who whiffs on his first attempt, now sends it around. But Lincoln Hennessy comes in and collects it. He sends it back to Quigley. Quigley back to Lincoln Hennessy. Lincoln Hennessy now down low, and a pass goes back to Galligan. He miscollects it and gets a juicy chance there, but Gurdon slides in and pokes it. Oh, Gervais's pass intercepted by Hernan. Shot saved by Snyder. And now we got some more pushing and shoving between the two teams. Nothing penalty worthy just yet, and there's just 4 seconds left on this power play for Quincy. Another huge defensive effort by Jacob Gurdon. He's been having a lot of those today. On top of the assist he's already recorded offensively on the score by Caleb Weldon. Brookline end face-off. 4 seconds left on the penalty kill. And Kelly gets leveled by Noah Gurdon, and the penalty kill ends. Dangerous centering pass, but too crowded. Collected by Walsh, sends it towards the middle, deflected back out. Walsh shot goes wide. Off the boards, sent back in by, I think, Pakala. Thomas O'Brien trying to clear, but can't do it. Walsh takes a dangerous pass, deflected, and it goes back to Galligan. Galligan now passes for Pakala. Now to Kelly, again centering, goes all the way back to Quigley. Shot deflects away off of O'Brien. He lost his stick, and now that one goes off the stick of Snyder and over the boards. And we got some more pushing and shoving. This time it's between Timmy Kelly and Noah Gurdon. Noah Gurdon, of course, got into that scrap with... Wait, are they sending them to the penalty box? Oh my gosh, they are. This is going to be another double fighting penalty. This time it's Timmy Kelly and Noah Gurdon. Gurdon, of course, was there for the first penalty, as he got wrapped up with Joseph Hennessy, and now he gets wrapped up again with Timmy Kelly. The officials probably explaining the situation as, I mean, if these are two fighting penalties, this might be it for Noah Gurdon. I'm not sure what the rules are. but it's going to be a Brookline end face-off with 8:38 on the clock. No power play for either side as they are offsetting penalties. Lining up for the face-off are Lincoln Hennessy and Henry Ames. One by Hennessy. That insert goes wide. Gurdon sends it over to Owen Erdman. Erdman sends it into the neutral zone, collected by LaMonica. LaMonica sends it back into the Brookline end, taken by Gervais. Now Erdman trying to send it off the boards. Too many blue shirts there, and they're scrumming along the boards. Loose puck is collected by Pice. Pass finds Erdman for a second, but then stolen back by LaMonica. LaMonica's hit goes back to Jacob Gurdon, and we've got a whistle. Oh, this is going to be a penalty against Owen Erdman. I didn't quite see what happened there, but Quincy is going to go back on the power play with 8 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game and a 1-goal lead. Faceoff is won by Brookline. Gervais collects it, sends it up along the boards, skips past the defender, and now it's being chased after by Quigley and Emmett Tian. Quigley collects it for a second, but now Tian takes it past to Weldon. Weldon shot saved by Freeman. Juicy rebound poked away. Gurdon had it for a second, but now it's stolen away. Now a big chance for Quincy. This is Joseph Hennessy coming with it. Shot saved by Snyder. Brookline almost tied it up on the PK. Emmett Tian with a great effort to get it away from Cameron Quigley, and he got a pass to Caleb Weldon, who got a shot, but just turned away by Freeman again. A minute 38 still on the penalty, 7:51 on the clock for the period. Face-off goes to Martin, now back to Galligan. Galligan skating with it. Pass is deflected up into the air. Chased down by Thomas O'Brien, who clears it off the boards. And again, we got a race for the puck. And Quigley is going to get there first and come around the back. Still trying to come around. Gets around two players and into the neutral zone. Now into the attack zone. Takes a shot. Turned away by Snyder. Rebound. Score! That's Will Martin. Another power play goal for the Presidents, and they make it a 3-1 game. Cameron Quigley now has a goal and 2 assists on the night. He scored the first goal back in the first, assisted Lincoln Hennessy on the goal in the second, and now assists Will Martin on their third goal here in the third. And that face-off lifts all the way into the stands. And the clock is still running. It should stop, but it's not stopping. Oh, there it is. Now it's stopped. 7 minutes, 18 seconds. And, of course, the penalty now over from the power play goal. Face-off won by McDougall. Pass goes through. Oh, a big open chance for McDougall. McDougall comes in, shot, score! Steve McDougall! Brookline answers right back. Once again, they ran that clever play with Emmett Tian as a defenseman off of the faceoff, and he snuck through and got some open space, but this time the loose puck was collected by Steve McDougall. He comes through and launches a laser top shelf for his first goal of the year. Just like that, Brookline's back in the game, 3-2, 7 minutes, 10 seconds left, and again, they're running that same face-off formation with Gurdon on the wing and Tian, the defenseman. Face-off, again, won by Brookline, but Gervais couldn't quite collect it cleanly. He has to come around the back, almost poked away. And instead it's chased down in the corner. They try and clear it, goes back to LaMonica. LaMonica's shot turned away by Snyder. Now they're fighting in the corner for it. Still fighting for it. It's collected by Quincy. Pass goes out. Shot. Juicy chance, but misses wide. Collected by Caldwell. Sent back. That shot deflected up in the air and over the net. Now it's sent over the boards. Tian lifts it into the neutral zone. Poked away for a second, and now they're scrumming for it in the neutral zone. It's going to be chased down by O'Connell. Riley O'Connell can't stay with it. He's sealed off by Tian, and now Gervais collects it and passes over to Jacob Gurdon. Gurdon, a long pass, misses its target, couldn't be collected by Grady Ames. Instead, Henry Ames going to chase it down himself on the back end. He's pinned to the corner, has to pass, nobody there except Presidents. And now Pat Walsh running with it across the blue line, gets around Redding, shot, saved by Snyder. Recovered by Redding. Sent ahead, but then poked right back to Walsh. Walsh now coming around again. Dangerous pass here, but collected by Brookline. Now Henry Ames skating with it into the neutral zone. Across the blue line. Whiffs on the shot, and it's collected by Galligan. Galligan sends it around the boards. Collected by Thomas O'Brien, but Brookline has to reset. O'Brien lifts it into the Quincy end as Brookline makes some switches. A long pass now goes to Walsh. Walsh coming across the blue line. His pass goes right to Redding. Redding takes it away and sends it off the boards. And it gets past Galligan. Galligan now racing with Tien right behind him. He sends it along the boards. It's going to go to Martin. Martin's attempted pass is deflected by McDougall, so he hits it again across the blue line. And it's going to be chased down by Brookline. Coming around, slipping and falling. And multiple players falling. It's collected by Joseph Hennessy. Shot saved by Snyder. Rohan Gervais, frustrated with himself after slipping and falling on that one, almost turned into a dangerous scoring chance. And now the officials trying to clarify something. Not sure what. There's 4 minutes and 54 seconds left in this one. Quincy 3, Brookline 2. We got a Brookline end face-off. Goes back to Gurdon. Gurdon trying to clear it out. McDougall and Tien trying to push it ahead. But LaMonica manages to poke it. Now it's being scrummed for, and finally Gurdon gets it out to Weldon. Weldon skating across the blue line. Weldon takes a shot, saved by Freeman. Loose puck. Pacala tried to poke it away. Now Kelly and McDougall are scrumming for it. Now into open space, taken by Gurdon. Jacob Gurdon fires a shot, saved by Freeman. Again, the good shot, better save woes continue to plague the Brookline offense. As they know, they just need one more good shot to tie this one up. 3-2 the score, 4 minutes, 27 seconds left. We got a Quincy end face-off between Hennessy and I think Grady Ames. Puck gets poked back, now passed over to Noah Gurdon. Gurdon trying to send it along the boards, but it's pinned by Hernan. Now back to Gurdon, now over to Grady Ames. Ames can't weave his way through, it's poked away, goes back to Gurdon. Gurdon pass over to Henry Ames. Henry Ames, a centering pass, juicy chance, but Pice slips and can't collect it. Martin now takes it, passes ahead, couldn't be collected by Hernan. Now Gurdon sends it along the boards. Loose puck, now collected by Martin. Martin takes it across the blue line. Tries to fight his way through a couple of players. O'Brien tumbles and falls, but the puck is still poked away. Pice gets tripped from behind, but no call. A lot of players slipping and falling, and it's collected by Joseph Hennessy. Hennessy brings it across the blue line. Gets around a defender, now coming around the net. Still coming around, centering pass to nobody as Noah Gurdon collects it. Gurdon passes, trying to get to Weldon, can't collect it. Timmy Kelly now sends it wide. As it goes back to Quigley. Quigley's shot is deflected down by Gurdon, collected on the rebound by Lincoln Hennessy. His shot deflected into the air, collected by Weldon. Weldon sends it off the boards. And no icing as Quigley chases it down with Tien right behind him. Poked at, he's trying to clear it out. McDougall manages to get a loose puck. Pass to Tien, shot just wide. Now they try and clear. Gurdon takes it. Dangerous chance, but saved by Freeman. Again, the efforts. But Brookline just can't seem to net that equalizer. We got a Quincy zone face-off, 2:59 left. McDougall versus Pacala. Won by McDougall. Goes back to Gurdon. Gurdon sends it towards the middle. Weldon a shot. Deflected wide. Recovered by McDougall. He manages to send it along the back to Weldon. Weldon centering pass bounces off of Tian's skate. McDougall steals it back. Poked back to Gurdon. Gurdon fires a shot. Saved by Freeman. Rebound collected. They try and clear, but McDougall pins it. McDougall sends it towards the net, and it's collected again by Daniel Freeman. Brookline running out of chances in this one. 2 minutes and 36 seconds on the clock, and they still trail 3-2. Grady Ames back in the faceoff circle, misses Pice, but Thomas O'Brien pushes it along. Almost cleared out, but caught by Pice. Now still fighting it along the boards. That's going to flip over the boards. And that's going to result in a face-off. Face-off won by Ames, goes to Pice, pass back to O'Brien. O'Brien sends it along the boards to Henry Ames. Ames can't fight through his defender and quickly sends it ahead to Pacala. Or no, to Martin. Martin sends it along the boards, goes back to Noah Gurdon. Now passed over to Thomas O'Brien. O'Brien long pass, deflects from Ames, and Henry Ames collects it but loses control. Martin pokes it away, back to the back Brookline end, but I think they called icing. Two minutes and 4 seconds left. Brookline still trails by 1. They send the first line back out, and I think we've got a timeout called by Brookline. This is the timeout you call late in the game when you try and figure out, okay, at what point do we pull the goalie? You got 2 minutes and 4 seconds left. You're down 1 score. And this is a real judgment call here. At what point do you hit the desperation button? I mean, Brookline has been generating good chances all night long, but only 2 of them have found the back of the net. One by Caleb Weldon and one by Steve McDougall. But they need 1 more if they're going to send this one to overtime. Coming out of the timeout, to the sound of Eminem's Lose Yourself, saying, if you had 1 shot or 1 opportunity, can Brookline take their shot here in the closing minutes? Quincy end faceoff, and they send off Joseph Hennessy, so now Will Martin will be in the faceoff circle against McDougall. McDougall wins, goes back to Gervais. Gervais fires, deflected in! Emmett Tian ties it! All they needed was 1 shot, and they seized it. Emmett Tian deflected it in off the launcher from Rohan Gervais. Every member of the top line has now scored today, and we've got a tie game at 3 apiece. 1:59 on the clock, and things have gotten really interesting now. Face-off collected by Weldon. Weldon weaving his way through. Pass to McDougall. McDougall pass to an open Tian. Tian shot turned away by Freeman. Collected by McDougall. Pass back to Gurdon and then back to McDougall. McDougall in the corner. Sends it along the boards. Couldn't be collected. Quickly trying to clear it out. Goes back to Gervais. Gervais shot. Saved by Freeman. Oh my goodness, what a game. Brookline trailing 2 scores with a little over 5 minutes left, and they get those 2 scores. McDougall wins the faceoff. Shot by Tian is deflected up into the air and drops back down, collected by Weldon. They're trying to control it along the boards, but it's poked away, taken by Timmy Kelly. Kelly sending it along the boards, collected by Lincoln Hennessy. Hennessy pinned by Gurdon, and now a scrum along the boards, and it's lost over the bench. 1 minute, 21 seconds left in regulation. We're all tied at 3 apiece. Henry Ames against Pacala. And now they're pinned to the boards. Puck is poked loose. Gurdon lifts it into open space, but it goes right to Cameron Quigley. Quigley now lifts it into the Brookline end. It's chased down by Jacob Gurdon, who sends it along the boards. It's going to be chased down by Marcus Peiss. Now picked up by Henry Ames. Ames across the blue line. Pass deflected away. Now another pass also lost and taken by Quigley. Quigley taps it ahead to nobody. Noah Gurdon taps it across the blue line, but it's collected by Quincy. Now Lincoln Hennessy trying to skate his way through. Meets too many defenders. It's poked away. Grady Ames sends it into the neutral zone. Bounces all the way to the net, and Freeman gives it to Joseph Hennessy. Pass over to Galligan. Galligan, dangerous chance, but Quigley gets it. But now Weldon steals it, and he goes off sides. Just ever so slightly mistimed as Tian and McDougall were trying to get back across the blue line, as Weldon had a nice steal in the neutral zone, just couldn't get over in time. 28.5 seconds left in regulation. And it looks like we got another timeout called. I think this one's called by Quincy. We've got ourselves a game now, folks. Just seconds left. Tie game. I mean, I know goals can come fast in hockey, but we're almost effectively in next score wins territory. If this goes into overtime, this will be the 3rd straight game to go into overtime for Quincy. Now out of the timeout. We got a neutral zone face-off. It's McDougall versus Joseph Hennessy. It's won by Quincy, collected by Galligan. Tries to pass to an open quickly. It's slightly deflected, but he collects it. Now a centering pass, dangerous chance, and they score! A well-designed play by Quincy. And I think it's Will Martin for a second time today. Makes it 4-3. Quincy answers right back on Brookline's comeback. Again, a well-designed play as they sent Quigley, who's usually a defenseman, they sent him out on kind of an ISO play. They got a pass to him, slightly slowed down by a deflection, but he still collected it and threaded the needle on his last pass to find Martin for the go-ahead score. Now a pass lifted to Tian. Tian gets across the blue line. Dangerous chance for Brookline. Pass to Weldon. Tries a centering pass. Taken away. Deflected away. It's an empty net for Brookline. Just 10 seconds left, though, but it's an icing call. .4 seconds left in this one. And again, Brookline needs a shot. They send Weldon out to take the face-off against Hennessy. It goes back to Gervais. Gervais whiffs on it. They're trying to clear it out, running out of time. And 3, 2, 1, and they pin it against the boards, and Quincy wins it. The final score, the Quincy High Presidents 4, The Brookline High Warriors 3. You know, it's tough that someone had to lose this. This was such a great contest. We saw a lot of great plays on both sides. A lot of great shots that hit the back of the net and a lot that didn't. It's a frustrating loss for Brookline, to be sure, as they fall to Quincy for the second time, and again by just a 1-goal deficit. And boy, when you come back from down 3-1 in the third period, and then the team answers right back, that's a heartbreaker. But, you know, hats off to both teams. Some great efforts. Ultimately, the final, Quincy 4, Brookline 3. We started with a goal apiece from the two teams in the first period. Quincy scored on a goal by Cameron Quigley, while Brookline scored on a goal by Caleb Weldon, assisted by Jacob Gurdon. We went into the first intermission tied at 1 apiece. Through the second intermission, only 1 goal was scored, and that was by Quincy's Lincoln Hennessy, the freshman getting his first varsity goal off an assist from Cameron Quigley. In the third period was where things really blew up. We came in with a 2-1 score. Quincy got the first goal. It was Will Martin, assisted again by Cameron Quigley. That made it a 3-1 game, and it seemed like things might be out of reach for Brookline, but they gave it a fight. First, a goal by Steve McDougall to cut it to a 3-2 game. And then, with just 2 minutes left in regulation, a goal by Emmett Tian on a nice deflection off the shot by Rohan Gervais. So Tian with the goal, Gervais with the assist, and that knotted things up at 3 apiece. But then, with just 20 seconds left, the game winner was scored by Quincy's Will Martin, his second goal of the day, and the third assist of the day for Cameron Quigley. So that's going to wrap things up here at Walter Brown Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. It's been a pleasure bringing you live coverage of this high school boys ice hockey contest. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all the upcoming broadcasts. If you're watching this after the live stream, as this will stay up on my channel, then you know, feel free to leave stuff in the comments section. Check out the description section of the video. You can find information about today's sponsors, Music Go Round and Harvest Wealth Management. You can also find information about our local charity, the Brookline Food Pantry that we shouted out in the first intermission. You can also find a link to my own personal website, jessesports.com, as well as a link to my Instagram account if you'd like to follow me on there. And other than that, I think we're going to wrap things up here. I think this is the last game I'm covering for boys hockey for the rest of this calendar year. So if you want to watch more of my broadcasts, I'll have a couple of basketball games next week. But if you're holding out for hockey, then I'll see you guys in 2022. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.